All right, I think we're live. What's up, Darkness Live Tribe?
Claire. Hi, Claire. Claire's waving at us. Whenever I see the little waving hand, I literally am picturing the person waving.
Right, yeah.
Oh.
So what's up? What's everyone doing?
Well, got through Monday.
Yeah.
Got through Monday.
Barely.
You know, I swear to God, like Mondays are never. There's never enough time in Mondays. Like.
Yeah.
Hey,
I don't want to talk about
Carl.
it. I don't want to talk about Mondays. That's usually. Well, I say that. Usually Mondays aren't too bad for me, but there's a 50-50 chance it's actually going to be the start of my weekend.
Yeah.
But on those days when it's actually the start of my weekend, I'm so damn tired I can't do anything but sleep all damn day long.
You work like Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night.
Yeah, I worked 6 days straight.
12-hour shifts.
Six nights straight.
Yeah, everybody's like, hey, Tiffany. Everybody's like, how does he do that? And I'm like, I don't know. I couldn't do it.
Well, I'm about to get too damn old for that shit. I don't know.
So, got the new style of COVID testing done today.
Oh, did you?
The rapid testing done.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Really?
It was awful. Yeah.
It's still just
It's
really?
It was awful.
It's not the finger stick.
No, it's still up the nostril, but it's a different swab.
Oh, is it?
And like that sensation you get when you bend down and then you stand up too fast, and it's almost like this burning sensation in your head, and you feel like you're gonna pass out for a second. That happened today. I literally had to close my eyes. I started seeing spots, and she's like, "Don't move," and I'm like, "Oh my God!" Like I literally thought I was gonna pass out.
Well, thank you for letting me know what
to expect.
What to have nightmares about till Wednesday.
What? Is somebody knocking on the door? Oh, come here. Come here. Sorry, my son is bringing me something. Come here.
What?
Come on.
I was telling you I was back.
I'm glad. Come here.
What?
Sorry, guys. Hey, come over here by Dad.
Yeah.
Can you say hi to the camera?
Hi.
You
down.
are live.
Bend down. Don't put your head.
See, this is what people are seeing out here right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
See?
Here, bend your head over. This is my baby.
Oh.
It's my baby. Yes. Not so little anymore, I guess, but
Here's your phone.
thank you. All right. We'll be in after a bit.
Okay.
You want to say anything to everybody watching? Oh, I got a couple questions for you.
Uh-oh.
What?
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Speak in
and
the
no.
microphone.
Yes and no.
Yes. Explain the yes.
From the dark side there is.
Whenever I go into like an abandoned place.
Here, you're gonna have to lean over. See, look at the screen over there, so they can see your beautiful face.
Whenever I go into like an abandoned house or something, I feel like I'm being watched.
Ooh, that's creepy. I bet you are being watched.
Well, right now.
What do you think happens to you after you die?
I don't know.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We can go with that. Preach, I don't know. You got anything else you want to say?
No, on that topic.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I'm not sure.
That's okay too. Are you gonna have children?
Maybe.
How many?
Not 3.
Not 3? So 1 or 2? Okay. All right. All right. Go do what you're supposed to go do.
Okay.
All right. Bye. Thank you.
All right. See you in a little bit, buddy.
Okay, do you want me to bring you a Diet Dr. Pepper?
No. No. Thank you though.
Okay. Love you.
Love you too.
Oh, man.
That's my baby.
Yeah.
He's almost 13.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Fun.
Anyways, back to the brain. Oh, Carl said the brain probe up both sides, right, Steph? Yeah, luckily I had enough moisture in my nasal cavity. But Jeremiah, I'm serious. Like when she did it, it was like it went so far back up, I felt like it was in a void. Like
Oh,
I felt
yeah.
like it was in an empty
Yeah.
cavity. It was.
Yeah. Well, it basically is. I mean, so that with this one, they're going way further.
And it's a different. It's like a sponge. It's not a little bristly looking
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. Enough on that. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I know, Claire. Your baby is 15. It's such a weird feeling when your kids become taller than you.
Yeah.
Man. Anyways, okay. Sorry about that distraction. So, yeah.
So I saw an interesting thing today.
Ooh, do
makes
tell.
makes me want to, and I don't know. I don't know that I could even find it to pull it up on the show. But I saw an article linked on Facebook today that said there have been some increased sightings of Mothman again in
What?
Point Pleasant. So,
Really?
yeah.
He looks concerned.
They went to the park.
Oh, you want me to get this done and go over and check on them?
Yep.
Which park?
I don't know.
Okay.
The school one. I assumed that was terrible. I don't know which park the kids went to. It's a good thing we live in a little bitty town about that big around.
Yes. Probably the one by your dad's house, actually.
Careful, don't kick the camera.
Sorry, Claire. Lennon is off the camera and, yeah, had some questions. Okay, now then.
Okay.
Back to Darkness
So-
Alive.
Yeah. There were
Mothman sightings?
Yeah. Some.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, me too, Claire. Mothman freaks me out, too. Those
So-
little red eyes. Oh, God.
Right.
I would shit my pants. If like last night I was putting Sophie to bed and Lennon's door to his room was open, and like in our house you can be in the living room and look down the hallway and see his room, and it was dark in there, and I go, I swear to God, I don't want to see anything. I do not have it in me tonight. I do not feel like experiencing anything paranormal this evening. Although, speaking of paranormal, yesterday we were sitting in the garage and all of a sudden the look on my face, I'm like and Jeremiah, of course, thought I saw like something paranormal. No, there was a stray dog that came in our garage.
Yeah.
I wish it would have been something paranormal because I kind of freak out with
It was a
stray
pretty
dogs.
dog.
Very pretty. What kind of dog was that?
I don't know. It was a mutt.
It looked like it had some German Shepherd in it.
Yeah. I'm
It
sure
was a
did,
pretty dog.
But yeah. So it'd be interesting to see if if this is just a trend of sightings.
Who had Mothman for October?
Right. So, or if it's an omen, because a lot of times Mothman, has an omen aspect to it. So, I think Charles mentioned that.
Ooh.
So,
Is it a bad omen?
oftentimes, yeah.
Oh, dear God.
There's often some sort of a disaster when there's a lot of Mothman sightings. Like, there were Mothman sightings around the Point Pleasant bridge collapse, and there were
Oh, dear God.
all kinds of stuff. So, we shall see. It could be interesting. I'm taking up a collection for displaced Bigfoots who have lost their homes due to the California fires.
I would contribute to that. I would contribute. Yeah. Okay.
Oh my gosh. So another thing. This could be semi-paranormal in nature. I don't know. It depends on it depends on your perspective. Tomorrow is our anniversary.
Yay, it is. It is our anniversary. God, we were just talking about this, and it's kind of crazy because I'm one of these people who I typically don't start actually actively planning something until the last minute.
Right.
And so, we picked our wedding date. Was it was it January? I think it was because we got engaged in December.
It was January or February.
We got engaged Christmas morning, and then it was January or
We-
February. We finally set a date for October 13th, and I'm like, oh, I got time, and people here and there would be like, oh, so what do you get? I'm like, oh, we got time, and then literally a week before before the ceremony, I was like, oh my God, it's a week away. Oh, crap, right? So, yeah. But we pulled it off. It was a really cool ceremony.
Yeah.
Our good friend Ann Logan, she performed our hand fasting.
Yeah.
And then, she's so amazing.
Speaking of which, I think she's gonna be on sometime soon, isn't she?
Yeah, in the next couple weeks, she's gonna be on. She's fabulous. She's a tarot reader. She's a psychic. She's fucking just awesome.
Yeah. She really is. She's really
amazing.
cool.
And do you realize the reason we met her? It was funny because she had a feeling, because Jeremiah reached out on a page that he was on. Does anybody know anybody who performs, hand fastings? And she said when she saw the post, she just had a feeling like, I think I should respond to this. And she didn't know us. And then, then long story short, I went to school with one of her grandkids' moms. And yeah, it was small world, so to speak. So
that's cool. So
it is. So she's going to be on soon, and then Brandon Callahan is going to come back on.
And we're gonna go down the rabbit hole.
Yes, he's going to come back on.
We're gonna get all conspiracy theoried out.
Yes. Well, it's going to
see if the men in black show up at our door after that show.
No shit. He's actually coming on the Monday before the election. We did that on purpose, because of the rabbit hole he wants to go down.
Yeah.
And so
it's going to be very interesting.
Yes.
45 years.
Aww.
That's two more than you get from me.
Yeah, I told Jeremiah he owes me 41 years.
43.
Well, now it's 41.
Well, yeah.
But started out 43. He owes me.
That means she lets me off the hook at 43.
Oh, Claire, your anniversary is my birthday.
She didn't hear that. Either that or she ignored it.
I'll let you decide. Ben and Claire's anniversary is December 3rd.
I saw that. That's
Damn.
cool.
Aw, that is a good day, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, it is.
Claire, do you
I have to
realize
give it
Ozzy
that.
Osbourne and Brendan Fraser their birthdays are also on December 3rd? True story. Yep. Wow. 15 years this year, huh? Claire said they got married in 2005.
Yeah,
I almost said
very cool.
2005.
Well, it wouldn't be wrong.
It wouldn't be wrong, but it sounded weird. Anyway, so... I actually did not get you anything for anniversary.
That's okay. I told you not to.
No. This is a big deal, people. You don't understand. I'll let you elaborate, because you're always on the receiving end of things.
She is like, if you like getting gifts, you want this lady in your back pocket, because she buys gifts for everyone, for everything, like lots of gifts.
I do.
So
go big or go home.
Yeah, and
it's my love language. It's one of my two love languages. So.
Which is awesome, and I have to admit, I don't mind. I definitely wasn't used to it.
Right.
But, yeah. So, but I told her not to get me anything this year. Because we just got some plans that we're trying to prepare for. Mm-hmm. And that's, to me, that's more important than getting something for my, anniversary. Mm-hmm. So. Mm-hmm.
But it has taken everything in me to not get you
I
gift.
still don't think it's gonna actually. I don't think we're gonna actually win out on that one. But
stack of pagan Bibles or whatever.
You're doing very good so far. I'll give you that.
I am. I have slowly shifted my, I don't even know what you want to call it, like means of expression. So. Nope, I did not buy you one. Swear to God, swear to whoever, whatever, the universe, whatever you want to call it, swear to you, I have not, up until right now, bought you one thing for our anniversary. Now,
well, I don't doubt that. Up until right now. That's the key words.
Oh my God. Anyways, so, okay, moving onward. Forward, onward. When do you use forward and when do you use onward in a sentence?
I don't know.
I
like downward and northward, but...
Are they interchangeable?
You missed that.
Are they?
reference, didn't you?
I heard the reference. Are you talking about downward and northward?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what that's from?
I know who that's from. Yes.
Who? What?
Wait. Okay. Maybe. Go ahead.
Oh, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Downward and northward is the directions to one of the places in the
Tree of Life thing.
It's the directions, and I can't remember the one. I can't remember the one which one, but it's directions to one of the great halls in the world of hell or Helheim in the Norse
The Nine Worlds.
Nine Worlds.
Okay.
And I cannot for the life of me now remember which hall, but it's directions downward and northward. It's quoted in
The Havamal.
it's either the Havamal or one of the great sagas. I can't remember.
Okay.
I think it is the Havamal though.
That came to my mind.
So,
Thank you, Spirit Guide.
but yeah, it's directions to one of the great halls in the world of Helheim.
Cool.
So
What lives in that world? What lives in that one? The giants? No, that's
no, Helheim is the that's the domain of the goddess Hel.
Hel.
And she is the goddess of the underworld. She
In Norse mythology.
it's not necessarily a bad place. Hell is not necessarily a bad
So
place
that's
in
why.
Norse mythology.
That's why if you're talking to like literally a heathen and you say something about going to hell, they'll be like, "Yeah, let me go."
Well, okay, so they
No,
might
they
not.
probably
They
wanna
not
go to
might not
Valhalla.
be. They might not be that excited about it because a heathen would rather go to Valhalla, or to
Valhalla.
I can't think of the name of it, but Freya's Hall. Because
ask,
Freya
I
actually gets first pick.
Hell yeah, she does. Her and her chariot of
But
cats.
of fallen warriors.
Hey guys, want to
So-
know a cool little fact? In Norse tradition, the bride is presented with a kitten on the hand fasting, the wedding. And I thought that was really good. Where's my kitten? Oh yeah, I can't have one. Oh, enough of me blabbering on. Let's bring our guest on. Unless, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Well,
I do. Saturday night is Darkness Tavern.
I'm trying to figure out why the chat's not lining up here like it should. See, we have something different up here than we have down here.
It's not good when you whack the
No.
headphones.
Yeah, don't do that.
And then they yank your ears. I
So-
did it again. Jesus.
Take a moment and the announcement will go out tomorrow. I've already got it published and scheduled. But we are doing Darkness Tavern this coming Saturday.
Whoop whoop.
And we are
Ben and Claire will be
very,
on.
very excited. But yeah, we're having Ben and Claire on. Of course, the usual gang, Max and Jacob. Jamie will not be with us this time. She has other prior engagements.
She has another party. Claire, Jamie won't be there. She has another party. So you're going to be
And-
my other wife partner Saturday night.
Yeah, and Max and Jacob have another friend that they're bringing on with them, I believe. Not the original one that we first thought, but a different one.
Okay.
So that's
So I
going to be
gotta-
it's going to be fun.
I gotta say something real quick. So I'm really short, right? And whenever I drive Jeremiah's truck, I can literally barely see over the steering wheel. I have to look through the gap in the steering wheel to see the road.
And it's an old truck. It's like 23 years old, so it doesn't have height adjustments on the seat.
Nope. Nope, it doesn't. Charles
okay.
is going to Vegas.
It's okay because you get me back every time I bust my knee open trying to get in the car after you've driven it because
I gotta scoot it way up forward. I do. I'm on the verge of like having to get petite length in pants and not. It's like a fine line there,
right.
But yeah, that's why the bottoms of my scrub pants are always tattered, really bad.
So, but yes, we will have we'll have Darkness Tavern on. So there are going to be all kinds of obnoxiousness going on with
Oh, hell yeah.
our Tipsy Tavern drinking game, and lots of alcohol, and lots of talk about ghosts and psychics and monsters
And lots of smog.
whatever the hell.
Lots of smog in here. Is it smog? No, it'd be plume. Or between the vaping and the smoking, it's like
Right.
It's like
it gets
Dawn of the
kind of
Dead.
cloudy. It's by the end of the
Yeah.
night, people are usually telling me, "Do you need to clean those camera lenses?"
I know, right? Oh my god.
So yeah, there's that. So keep an eye out for that. That's going to be an absolute blast. And then just take a moment. I'm fixing to introduce our guest for tonight. Yes, all kinds of bullshit, Claire. I like that. So our guest tonight.
Booze, Brews, and no, wrong party name. Booze, Brews. My party was called Booze,
Oh my
Brews,
God.
and Toys. And
Yeah.
yeah. No toys at this party.
No, not at least not that type.
No.
So yes, I'm getting ready to introduce our guest for tonight. While I'm doing that, take a moment, and if you haven't already liked the page, like the video, share the video, start a watch party, do whatever it is you want to do.
You can even do it naked if you want to, or AKA skyclad. Is that how you say it? Skyclad?
Yes, skyclad.
You can even do it skyclad.
I
You know,
mean,
I saw a really funny.
we're not going to do that because we're on camera, but you could do that at home. It's all good. So
We don't need no Amazonians in the podcast.
our guest tonight is really cool. We met her in Oklahoma City at the fair, the Midland City Metaphysical Fair last year.
Seraphina's Fair? Yeah.
The Midland City Crossroads Metaphysical Fair. It was an absolute blast. She came and got a reading, and
She gave me the
she
coolest
didn't
rock.
get a reading at the fair. She won a reading.
She did. She gave me like some Apache tears, which anybody who's not familiar with that, they're these little black stones, and they look like a teardrop. Like, anyways, they're really cool.
They're translucent. You can hold them up to a light and see see light
Yeah.
coming through them.
And then she also gave me these other few stones that were this. I don't even know what the stone was, but one of them like literally looked like it had a face on it. That's in my that's in my box
Yeah.
actually that I use for in my box of
Yeah.
things. No toys, just witchy shit. You've got the sage, you've got your favorite stones, and all of that stuff. So, and my pendulum, and my sweetgrass, and my
It was such
my
a
little spider, and
such a pleasure to get to talk to her and get to know her. So
probably a Buckeye. There's some pictures.
Her name is Jeri Michelle Beavers. She founded Valkyrie Paranormal.
I love that name.
Jeri is an empath, medium, and paranormal investigator. She has been an active paranormal investigator for over 5 years. In September 2020, Jeri founded Valkyrie Paranormal, the most magical paranormal team around.
Woo woo.
I like that.
Me too.
Jeri's passions are to investigate the unknown and unexplained while having fun, being professional, and educating people on the importance of protecting themselves metaphysically on investigations and everyday life. Valkyrie Paranormal, that gets so overlooked.
I think that is by far, Jeri, I think that is by far the absolute best little introduction, like, paragraph I think I've ever heard.
Yeah.
As far as, like, hitting that importance part of protection, metaphysical, and other things.
Valkyrie Paranormal hosts public events for groups who want to investigate the experience. They also, or who want the investigation experience. Sorry, my eyes are getting
Couldn't help
stupid
that
on
I'm
me.
moving my leg up and down, and it's moving.
They
computer.
also provide services of need to those who are experiencing activity in their home or business. Yes, very excited to talk to Jeri. Without further ado, let's get her on the phone.
Ring-a-ling-a-ling.
Maybe.
Every time we're waiting, I always
There
hear
it
the
goes.
Jeopardy soundtrack in my head.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, honey.
How are you tonight?
Oh my God,
I'm so much better now than talking to you.
I know. Oh my goodness, it's been too long. Like, you just need to move here to where we live, and then we can see you like daily. That would
I
be
know.
amazing.
I know. I need to come see you.
Yes, you do. You're not
I'm
that. I don't think
I'm sure
you're.
there's something haunted there. I need to come see.
Oh, for sure. I don't know the history of this town, but I'm not saying the name of the town, by the way. But I'll tell you off camera. But I don't know the history of the town that we live in, but there's got to be haunted shit, and
There's haunted shit all over the place here.
Everywhere.
I think when was this
All
town
over. I
founded? In
have a
1890?
realtor on
it's
my
old.
team, so she can research that. So I have a
Jeremiah.
little bit of everything on my team.
I'm getting it.
Oh, Charles, thank you for pointing that out. He's fixing it right now.
So how have you been? Tell us a little bit about what's going on with you.
Well, lockdown has not really been any slower for me. In fact, I'm like so busy, I hate myself coming and going. In the midst of it all, during busy season, I started a new team, which is kind of crazy, right? In the middle of busy season. But sometimes when you don't listen to Spirit, and Spirit wants you to do something, and you don't listen, Spirit makes you do things.
Yeah.
So, wasn't what I planned, but here we are. And with the most magical team ever on the face of the earth, I think, it's going well. So, working and having a little fun here on the side is, we all need to do that.
Oh yeah. You gotta have fun, man. You have to have fun. So I've got to ask how many individuals make up your paranormal team?
Right now we have 6.
How many?
6.
Okay. And can you go into detail about the other members? Like, what do they contribute? Like, are they see things? They psychic? They tell me all about it.
All the things. Let's see. Let's start with Andrea. Andrea is a psychometrist. And for those who don't know what psychometrists are, they hold objects and can tell you a story.
Oh, wow.
She's a medium, and she's amazing. Let me tell you, amazing. And I had the pleasure. We're always testing stuff out, right? Because we're like, what happens if we do this?
Mm-hmm.
We were at an investigation, and she wanted to touch an object, but she wasn't quite sure if she wanted to feel the full effect. And I'm like, well, let's try this. Let me touch it, and you hold my hand. And it was amazing. So I touched it, and then when she grabbed my hand, you remember when you were a kid and you took that 9-volt battery and you stuck it to your tongue? That's what it felt like running through my body.
Oh my God.
And she was seeing, the way I usually see things is like a double exposure. So I see today and then whatever is laid on top. So I haven't yet. I'm sure I will, but I don't step out of the present time. It just is kind of laid on top. But what I saw during that experience was, I'm like, this is different. It was like a movie reel. I didn't see anything else, like the old-timey movie reel, kind of flippy and grainy on the edges. That's what I saw. And after we all got settled back in the room, and we're like, okay, so what kind of experiences did we have that we haven't already talked about? And she said, well, yeah. I said, this one's new for me. She goes, well, that's how I see things. I'm like, well, that's so cool. I got to experience the way somebody else experiences something.
Wow.
And because normally we don't get to do that. We only get to hear verbally or draw a picture or whatever, how somebody else experiences their abilities. So for me, that I was like, this is so amazing. I got to see how she sees and see the things that she sees. And I saw little clips, but it wasn't anything like I had seen before. So it was kind of cool. She also is a medium and a healer. Just about everybody on my team is a healer. So if you move on to Jason, Jason is a light worker, and he is very great about grounding people. He does these little energy boxes, which is pretty cool. If you're having a tough time, he does a little energy box on the ground, and you step inside, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. I don't know if he can do that remotely. Maybe we need to practice on that. I digress. So then let's see. Helena does all the things. She's a seer. She can read your spirit animal. She can heal tears in your aura and remove attachments. Let's see. I was just touching on Helena. And then there's Tammy. Tammy is a great anchor. She's a medium. I think pretty much everybody reads tarot. Yeah, I think they all read tarot. So she is a great anchor if we're needing somebody to hold us into place while we do our thing. She's amazing at that. And she does bring the light for anybody who needs to cross over. And they're all naturals. They are all, I'm still new and I've been doing this for 5 years, right? And they first did their first investigation in February. So they're pretty new, but it's all just kind of magically came together. And again, it's magic. We're the most magical team. And I don't know any other ways to explain it, but that's my team.
Very cool.
Anybody? Justin, Tano. Oh, Edna. Oh, I'm sorry, Edna. I didn't mean to forget you. Edna, I've known Edna for 20 plus years, and she's just coming into her abilities, and she's an empath and a healer. So this is we have all sorts of levels on the team, so we all help each other and guide each other to sharpen our abilities. And it's kind of amazing.
Oh, that's so cool. And I bet everybody just kind of goes, the flow is happening when you're on an investigation and everybody just does their part and it just is like a well-oiled machine, so to speak. And I bet it's
getting there.
Yes.
It's quite magical. It just kind of, everybody is a natural, and sometimes you bring on new members and you're like, okay, well, this is how I would recommend doing it. Don't do it this way. We don't do, but the first thing that we went to, it was just like, it was magic. They already knew what they were doing. I mean, because they have their abilities, and they were doing the other things, the metaphysical part, but then bringing them into the paranormal part, it was just natural for them because they already spoke with spirit. So it was just, I don't know, sparkles and rainbows and unicorns, all kinds of stuff.
That's cool. I have to tell you, Jeri, like, I so much appreciate the fact that you're using the word magical. I love that, actually. Like, that just brings a whole new thought process, like perspective. I just think that I love that. It kind of, in my mind, okay, so when I hear the word like paranormal, I think like ghost hunt and, seeing spirits and the ghost box and the dowsing rods, whatever. But when you incorporate that word magical, it I don't know, I love it. I love it. That's so awesome.
Now, believe me, I do love the toys, because I can't, with the exception of what I experienced with Andrea, you really can't explain your feelings or what you're seeing or spirit communicating with you verbally or, that kind of way. But if you have I call them the toys and the gadgets that can explain or to confirm, okay, I have a cold spot here, somebody's standing next to me, or if you know about the SOS cameras, we are obsessed with the SOS cameras. They're so much fun. Our team, we didn't have one, and then all of a sudden we have 3. That's how obsessed we are.
I love it. I love it. So you guys only get it. You get it 50% of the time versus a 10th or a 6th of the time. So that's so cool. So do you guys use a ghost box?
We use a little bit of everything, especially with the public investigations. We want everybody who may not have come into their abilities, or they're just working on them and they're wanting something to confirm what they're hearing and seeing and feeling, to how to use the equipment to do that.
Okay.
There are a lot of people who say they don't have abilities, but we all know everybody does. That's the only
yes.
time I ever
Right,
tell anybody
right.
that they're wrong is when they say I don't have abilities, because yes, you do. You're just not paying attention to them.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You got to come out of the
That's
ability
kind of
closet.
part of my skill, you know.
Yes.
So, it's a lot of fun, and I like using the gadgets because sometimes you get the young spirits, and they like to make the things light and make the noise, and we have Boo Bear that lights up. So
Oh, you guys
sometimes
have a
those
Boo
little trigger
Bear?
items will help them feel more comfortable.
Jeremiah, you've had experience with a Boo Bear.
Yeah.
I have not had an experience with one.
This one place, one of our viewers is very familiar. He actually works at the location, but this one place that the team I work with quite a bit has worked at quite often has the spirit of a young girl running around in it. And one of the team members brought a Boo Bear there once. And so I had just run. We left the Boo Bear sitting on a staircase where the little girl is known to hang out, and I had just run up there by myself to grab one of my recorders that I had left there recording. And when I was coming back down, the Boo Bear started talking, and I sat down and. It was, of course, a lot of the way the Boo Bear works is anytime there's an environmental change that triggers it to say something. And so, it was really cool. It was almost like having a conversation there.
That's cool.
Right. So we've got both. We've got the big one, and then we've got the little one that only lights up, which is cool. I mean, so maybe the noise might scare one. So we've got options. So
that's very cool.
Man.
But they can be kind of creepy if you're not expecting it.
Oh, I'm sure. God.
If you're borderline anyway, and you're like, oh, why is that talking? Like,
right.
Something is making the environment change. Why is it happening? Because that's what we're here for, right?
Man,
hold your hand.
Oh my God. Yes. I like I said, I've never gotten to have an experience with a Boo Bear, but I think it'd be really cool. We should totally get Sophie one.
Yeah.
We should totally get her one for Christmas this year. So Jerry, I got to tell you that Jeremiah actually bought us a ghost box here. Since February, because you got it since we moved in here. That thing is, I think it's wild how it's going through, so many stations at the frequencies, whatever, right. Really quick. And yet there's words that come through and it's like, how the fuck is this happening? How is this happening?
Conversation.
Yes.
And people think that, oh no, you're just picking up stuff. Some of it, yes. Some of it, yes. But when it calls you by your full name, which has happened to me multiple times, that you can't make that up.
No, you can't.
Okay, maybe that's a commercial, okay, but when it's got a direct response to me, specifically, Jeri Michelle Beavers, and you're like, oh, I'm in trouble now, okay. I'm listening.
It's like, what did you do?
Well, when we were, and this is funny because it happened in a room full of people. We didn't even have lights out because where we were at, it was motion activated light. And we were sitting there and we were just kind of actually jacking around. We weren't really being really serious. And it was been a long night. And we were sitting there and we were playing with the Paranologies. It's the app version of a ghost box. And we were sitting there like, do you have a message for somebody here? Yes. And then a little bit later, it's like, Jeri Michelle Beavers. And I'm like, oh, crap. Shit, what?
Right.
And I'm like, yes.
Right.
Yes, let's message do work. I'm like, shit, I don't take any days off. What do you want me to do? So,
Yes.
It's not my physical work that I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be doing more with the things and sometimes you need spirit to remind you of that. But I love it if you can have conversations. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. So Jeri, tell me about the earliest memory you have of when you realized, maybe I'm a little bit different from other people. Do you remember the moment?
Pretty much my whole life, I think. I don't remember a whole lot of my childhood, and they say that's one of the common denominators with people who have a lot of abilities. You don't remember a lot of your childhood. But the memories that I do have, it was always something, I swear I'm part Woodland Fairy, or I don't know, I'm Banshee, you've seen my hair. But we would go camping every weekend, and I was always out in the woods, and here was the animals be coming up, and wild animals, birds becoming Snow White, maybe, I don't know. But I always just heard my name whispered all the time, and when I look back, I remember seeing people confuse shadow people and shadow people. So I think my personal belief is sometimes shadow people, not the creepy ones, but some of the shadow people, as you are coming into your abilities, you are not able to fully see the entities or your spirit guides, and you just see the shadows. So I remember seeing those, and I was never really afraid. So I always saw those. As I got older, my dad passed away when I was really young, and so I always have felt he was around, and my grandma, we always get those smells, who smokes, the cool cigarettes, the menthol cools. Nobody smokes those, right?
And you
Anymore.
smell them sometimes, don't you?
Right. I smell them. And then butter rum candy is always my dad, and you can't find butter rum candy hardly anywhere. And I'm like, I know nobody's in the house eating butter rum candy because I'm the only one here. So just thinking back, you don't know what other people, in fact, my lights are just flickering. I think it's my mom. You don't know that other people don't see all these other things because this is what you're used to seeing. It's what you've always known. And until you get older, you're like, oh, you don't see that? You see that, but you don't. What, And so when I was growing up, we didn't have the internet, so you didn't really talk about those things. You just kind of went, oh, okay, well, this is fine. I'm just going to hang out over here by myself and talk to this person who may or may not be here. So,
Right.
Speaking of like smelling certain things when certain people who have already passed over, it happens, right? Well, so Jeremiah, he doesn't wear cologne at all. He doesn't wear anything that smells like perfumey whatsoever, or whatever you call it for a dude. Okay, cologne-y or whatever, I don't know. But, every so often I would always get this whiff of like something that smelled really good, but I've never smelled it before and I couldn't put my finger on it. And so when we were in Leavenworth, is that where we're in Leavenworth with Lena?
Yes.
We were in Leavenworth at an investigation with our friend Lena. And all of a sudden, she's like, do you smell that? And I'm like, yes, I do smell that. I said, Jeremiah, smells like that often or whatever. But it's weird. And long story short, I'd never brought it up to Jeremiah before just because I thought it was like maybe he put on, I don't know, lotion or face cream, something, you know what I mean? Anyways, oh no.
Kind of guy.
Yeah, exactly. Oh no. The smell, and Lena pulled out a braid of sweetgrass. She's like, smell this. Is this what it smells like? I'm like, oh my God, yes, that's it. Well, then come to find out, his mama, it just so happens that every time we get a whiff of that, she's like close by. It's pretty cool because she used to didn't she burn it?
Yeah. Well, she always had it. She always had a braid of sweetgrass either on her, nearby, or if we were at home, she would be burning it. I mean, just like
I think that of all of the things you can burn, that what they smell like when they're burning, I think. It used to be Palo Santo. I love the smell of burning Palo Santo. But after I smelled sweetgrass burning, oh my God, that is like my favorite smell ever. And then actually, Jeri, one of the vendors, was Elaine and her husband at the fair Jeri was at?
I think so, yeah.
So they make all kinds of I think there's soy-based candles and things and wax melts, and they have a sweetgrass one, and I shit you not, it smells just like sweetgrass. And every time I see them, I get like a supply of. I'm like, okay, we're gonna be at that fair. I hope you have plenty of sweetgrass.
They should know to stock up when they're going to see you.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. There for a while, I even bought the oil. There for a while, I even bought, because they've got like the oil that you can buy for, like a tea light burner or whatever. And I was like, can I use this as perfume? And he's like, yeah, that should be fine.
Sure.
Oh man. So.
Worst things you could use, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So.
What's the craziest shit you've seen? I had to ask. Sorry, honey, I interrupted you.
Okay. So, and I love to tell this story, but I don't ever want anybody to be afraid of doing paranormal investigation, because these things are more rare than what TV tells you. Okay, so I'm all really big about protection. So in life, investigations, everything. So you are your biggest tool to help protect yourself. So my second investigation, I'm super green under the belt. I mean, like wet behind the ears, walking, lady in the lake, wet. So we go to an investigation in Muskogee, which we now lovingly call the House of Legion. So here I am. We just thought it was grandma hanging around, seeing the grandkids, because we didn't have any information in the house. We were just helping out another team. And we go, and we didn't even get in, and it was hopping. I was a little queasy, thought, well, maybe, I'm nervous. This is my second investigation. We also ate at a truck stop. So, maybe I had too much coffee, so I'm like, okay, not paying too much attention to it. So we're sitting there, and we hadn't even pulled all the equipment out of the house, or out of the car into the house. And I'm sitting there talking to one of the other investigators, and I see this dark figure walk across this room. And I'm like, she looks at me, she goes, what did you see? And I'm like, there's nobody else in here, right? And she's like, no. And so there was no way that anybody could have got in and out of that room from the time that we were standing in the hall and walked around. I'm like, there was somebody in here. It was like a full body, just like walk by. But it wasn't a body. It was like this dark, nasty kind of thing. And so I'm like, okay, well, let me go outside to make sure there wasn't cars coming by, somebody, looking through the window, that sort of stuff. It was the older house, and it had those high windows. Me and the missus, it would probably hit us about our chin, is how high the windows were. So I'm like, okay, nobody could have got in here. So I did the walk around, and I'm like, okay. So still feeling a little queasy, and we go on about our investigation. We had lights going on and off. We had the REM pod going off. And so the REM pod we were in the living room, and the REM pod was in that particular room, and it goes off. And we're all like going, okay. I'm like, well, this is new for me. What's that do? And like, well, that's a change in fluctuation. And that one was temperature change. And I'm like, okay, well, let's go in there. And so we turn on the spirit box, and things like demon and possession, those things along that kind of nature were coming across the box. And I'm like, man, I am not feeling a whole lot better than what I was a while ago. And I'm just like, I may have to step out. I'm feeling queasy. I think I might throw up. And so about that time, the light bulb blew. So I'm like, holy crap, and we're on a live feed, and I'm like trying not to swear. And I'm like, what's with that, And so we tried to turn the light back on, it wouldn't come on. I'm like, okay, this is an old house. Is this really y'all guys are playing a trick on me, right? And I'm thinking this. I'm not saying anything because, here I am still green. I'm like, are they playing a trick on me? And so we couldn't get the light to come back on. And then I just all of a sudden feel like heavy. I was having a hard time breathing. I was like, I am not feeling well. And so one of the other members, the team owner, went out to the car and got anointing oil and holy water and he prayed over me. And I just remember it felt like it was like wrapped around me, and I felt it just like drop off of me. And I saw it in my mind's eye go over and wrap itself around the other girl. And I'm like, it's on her now. And I felt better, and I was like, man, this is wild. This is what happens on TV. This is not really what I signed up for. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So, light bulbs blowing, and I'm like, ugh, I just don't feel well. So he prayed over her as well, and it kind of came off, and it kind of slunk down into this hole in the closet. And I'm just like, I think I need to go outside. We need to take a break, and I need to go outside. So throughout the night, it was just crazy. The door opened and closed by itself, and we kept getting things with demonic names and those kind of things. And I'm like, I'm not prepared for this. I don't remember ever being scared. I just remember I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm not going to let it know I'm afraid. I'm just going to dig my heels and stay on my ground. So that was investigation number 2. But number 2, so, like I said earlier, when Spirit wants you to do something and wants to test you, to me, that was my test. Either you're going to be in this full-fledged or you're not going to do it at all.
Right.
So with that, after I got home, I was like, I don't know. Do I really want to do this? If I'm going to do this, how do I protect myself? So I started doing research, and okay, I need to do this. Okay, I was right in standing my ground and not showing fear, those kind of things. So, but I think, to me, Spirit was telling me, you need to share this. You are supposed to tell people how to protect themselves. This can be fun and exciting, but it can also be dangerous.
Right.
So that you need to know how to go out and have a good time. But if you happen across something, again, people think that demons are just like waiting at the door for you. They can be, but that's a whole different situation. But if you're just going out and having a good time and going to places that are not known for negative things, and you're not inviting the things in, then you can have a good time. But if you happen across them, this is what you do to protect yourself and those around you.
Exactly. On that note, I kind of have something I wanted to kind of pick your brain about. So, I know you have you offer services of helping people through difficult hauntings or activities in their homes and businesses and stuff like that. What is probably the most challenging aspect of that to you to get the positive outcome that everyone's shooting for?
Well, to me, the thing that is most struggling for me is you want to help everybody, but you can't save everybody if they don't want to help.
Right.
So if you have somebody that is inviting things in because they want the attention, or they have some other kind of mental issue that they need some other kind of help for, and they're not willing to go get that kind of help, you can't make them do what they're supposed to do to make themselves safe. And to me, that's really hard for me to walk away, but sometimes you have to.
Exactly. Yeah, I would have to agree with that 100%. A lot of times, I do a lot the same type of stuff with various people. And I always tell people up front, I said, look, this isn't an overnight thing, like especially if they have any kind of a dark or, a negative interaction. It's not even necessarily always a negative entity or energy, but it can be
Right.
it can just be a negative interaction feeding off of their fear, their
Right.
anger, their different aspects of their personality, that type of thing. So I always tell people up front, I
Right.
said,
And it could be somebody living in their house that maybe they're in an abusive situation and they've manifested a PK manifestation. You know, people confuse some of the things with a PK to as demonic, and sometimes that is confusing because of the things that happen. But you have to be willing to, and I know sometimes it's not as easy as just saying you need to leave, because we all know those people, even just in everyday life, that are in a bad relationship or situation that just can't. So, I mean, the only thing you can do is give them resources. So if you walk into a house where they are having PK manifestations because of abuse, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, the only thing you can do is to give them the resources to help them with that particular thing, hoping that they're able to get out of that situation and bring themselves some relief all over.
right, exactly. I always tell people up front, kind of the approach I take is this is not an overnight process. We can do some things to get you a little bit of relief, but in the meantime, there is psychology that we have to tackle here.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And through the
Right.
course of that, of course, a lot of times you find out who's really serious about what they're saying they're wanting and who's not right off the bat with that. But then, the people that aren't committed to it, the people that, as bad as it sounds, the people that you're not going to ultimately be able to help because they are not as committed as they need to be, that becomes evident through that process, I think.
Right. I mean, even if you have, one of the things that I ask somebody who's having activity is to keep a log. Keep a log of things that are happening, simple things, the temperatures outside, who are you with, what are your emotions. If you're not willing to take even that sort of initiative to help me figure out what's going on, I can come in and say, yes, you are having some activity, but I can't help you in the way that you think you want me to help you, because I can come in here and cleanse your house and, make it, I'm not going to say harmonious, but more harmonious than what it was when we walked in.
Right.
But as soon as I leave, you're going to continue doing the things that you were doing to help manifest. That's kind of a bad way to put it, but that's basically what it is. You're manifesting the things yourself.
Exactly.
So I can come in there every day and cleanse your house, but if you're not doing your part, it's not going to help. And you're wasting your time and you're wasting my time.
So
So
would you say that it's safe to say that first and foremost, when it comes to paranormal investigations, at least for residents or businesses, not like a public one, but would you say that it's so important educational side of things?
yes, education is one of my biggest things. So I always tell everybody, this is not TV. It is not TV. You could, they go in and they spend a week, and what you see in 30 minutes is a week worth of evidence, maybe two, depending how long they were staying at that location. So, and that's all crammed in, and actually it's probably more like 20 minutes, because some of the shows are only 30 minutes, right? And they were stayed overnight, right? So you can't just expect for us to come in and we may not get any activity because they may not want to show themselves to us. And we're like, I don't get anything. Like when Andrea did a walkthrough in a building that I wanted to get in so bad because I knew there was something in there. And she is amazing at picking up stuff. And she did a walkthrough, to see what the inside was like. And she's like, I don't get anything. And I'm like, are you sure? She's like, I didn't get anything. I'm like, okay, but we're going to hang out there anyway. They didn't want to show themselves. But when we went to do the investigation, it was hopping. So, I mean, it's hit and miss. You can't make them do something. You can't make them interact with you. So it's like you can go to somebody's house and you can't make them talk to you, right? So that's kind of how I look at it. So people do have to realize that it is a hit and miss. And if it's something that they are self-manifesting and they are not ready to deal with that self-manifestation when we come to do an investigation or have a talk with you, nothing may happen. So we may not get anything, and we're like, oh, well, we don't have anything, so, well, we're going to have to attribute that to, I don't know, maybe high EMF, or let's maybe talk to your doctor about some medications that you're on that might be causing hallucinations or dreams or sleep paralysis, that kind of stuff. So you have to educate people about all these different kinds of things that can present itself as paranormal when it may be something medical or ecological, because if you have high EMF, you could feel like somebody is watching you. You could have things happen because of the EMF. You could have rashes, you could have headaches, you could start having paranoia, that kind of stuff. So education is a really big deal whenever it comes to home personal investigation. So, and to me, it's sad for me whenever people go in as a fly-by-night team, even if they have the best of intentions and they're not educated themselves, and they give bad information, or they're telling somebody that, oh, you have a demon, when really it's just high EMF because you're in a really, really old house.
Right. So, there's that old saying, knowledge is power. And if you really think about that, once you do have the knowledge of the situation and you understand that, okay, this old man has been here for 50 fucking years and he's not going anywhere, we can coexist, right? Kind of takes away the fear, because, fear of the unknown, if you don't have the knowledge, you have fear, and you have to take power over that. So,
right. And the things that are cranky. Sometimes people confuse cranky with demonic.
Oh, yeah.
You can have a cranky entity and it's not demonic, they're just cranky. So people confuse that too. Well, they do this and that. I'm like, well, have you ever met an old cranky man that yells at you to get off his lawn? It's basically the same thing. So you set your boundaries.
Right.
You can hang out to your butt. My business hours, when you're able to communicate with me, are, just like business. I've got to sleep. I have to get up and go to work, so I have a place to come home to. Mm-hmm. And you just have to set your boundaries, and that's part of the educational process.
Yeah, it'd be like Jeremiah, where it's like, what's your cutoff time? 9?
Yeah.
9 o'clock is his cutoff time for responding to anything like via business page stuff.
Right. So
you
have to have that in your environment too. So
yeah.
My mom, before I set boundaries with my mom, because she passed away 4 years ago, and we were living in her house and we were remodeling everything down to the studs. I just started feeling this week. I'm so excited about that. She would be flicking the lights on and she still opens the cabinet doors and, making noise, and I could hear her shuffle. I'm like, look, Linda Sue, it's 3 a.m. I've got to go to work. So knock it off.
Right. Yep.
She's calmed down because, after when somebody passes, sometimes they're a little confused and they think that, they're in their space, and all of a sudden you're coming in their space and you're moving their stuff around. Why are you touching my stuff?
God, now we know
You have to be a little, what's the word, understanding that this is going on. You're in their space. So.
Exactly.
Now we know how the couple from Beetlejuice felt.
Yes. No. I need to watch that. It's been a couple of days.
Oh my God, I love that movie.
Have you?
It's so awesome.
Oh yeah, it is.
Have you ever encountered an elemental spirit of any type?
I've come for your daughter, Chuck.
Yes. We were again in Muskogee. Muskogee's a hop and little
Isn't there like a saying about Muskogee?
It was a different part, and this house and which is kind of weird that they had the elementals that they had, because like the front yard, instead of grass, it was sage.
Whoa.
But it was like this big, I know, it was kind of cool. I was like, I would love to have a front yard full of sage. But this house was surrounded by these woods. And I'm like, what are those little things over there hanging out?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't know what they are. And they were like the little, I don't know what they call them, but the little Indian wood nymphs. They were just very protective people who were coming in, and they weren't mean at all unless you like went into the woods. And then I go places I probably shouldn't. You guys don't do that. So
Right.
if you're going to go do things, make sure you take your flashlights and a friend. And sometimes they're just like, oh, what's that over there? And next thing you know, I'm like, 3 houses down. Not one. So I'm like, started tripping over things. I'm like, oh, sorry guys, I guess it's time for me to go back over to the clearing. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. I'm going to go. But they were like these little tiny, I don't know how to, little wooden nymphs. There's an Indian word for them. I can't remember what it is, but in that area, they were known for being in the woods and being very protective of the people who live in the area.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they were very present because there was something that was invited into the house by somebody, doing drugs. Drugs are bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about a little bit of weed. No, I don't have anything to do with that, but these were like bad drugs. And they were inviting these things in unknowingly because of the things that they were doing.
It was attracting them.
They were attracting them.
Mm-hmm.
And in the house was a trickster, and so these little Indian nymph, wood-like creatures were very protective, and they would watch the house. And so I know that I felt very watched there, but it wasn't, I didn't feel bad watched. I felt kind of protected watched because they were watching this little trickster that was living inside the house with the people. So,
see, isn't it?
I had those. They can be mean.
Isn't it?
But
Oh man.
it was fun, exciting. Muskogee, Oklahoma.
Right.
So I find it interesting when we talk about, when you're talking about like you feel a protective energy, sometimes with certain things. I find it interesting, Jeremiah. I don't think I've ever told you this, but that like blanket I have that is like on our bed, like over top our bed, whatever. So I swear to God, like I feel that way about this blanket. And no, it's not like I'm a 2-year-old with a blankie, but it's weird because the moment that I ordered this blanket and it came in and I slept under it, I'm like, I feel okay when I have this blanket over top of my comforter. And ironically enough, it actually has oh God, I'm going to butcher the name. Hawk's head death moth. Did I say it correctly?
Yep.
The hawk's head, it has a gigantic...
No, the death's head hawk moth.
Death's head hawk moth on it. Got to get it right, Stephanie. But yeah, I don't know what it is about that moth or, the symbology with that moth or just the blanket itself. But I mean it, Jeri. Like I completely have this calm feeling when I get in bed and that blanket is on the top of the comforter. It's weird.
Probably a little bit of everything. So, I mean... that takes you to talismans. Anything can be a talisman, if you have the faith in it. I have a tube of lipstick. That could be my talisman.
There you go.
So
there you go.
So who doesn't like some red lipstick? But it's just, so many things can take our energy because everything is energy, right?
Yeah.
So you can walk into a room and go, ooh, I don't like it in here. Or, oh, I feel so at peace in here, and it doesn't even have to be, it could be the same space, just depending on what happened in that space before you got in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that happens with, clothing and shoes, especially it's something that you have on you all the time that's going to have your energy, it's going to have your imprint.
Right.
Which is how psychometry works, psychometry, I butchered that too. Works because you leave that imprint on that item, whether it is a locket or a pen or a cup or a shoe. So the more you have it on you, the more your energy and your essence is into that.
You know, speaking of what you just said, tell them that story about what happened with Casey Meta with that asshole guy with my necklaces.
So,
oh, this is fucked up, Jerry. This is like a no-no. Like, what is wrong with people?
So the story, as I understood it, I was doing readings while most of this was going on.
It was bad.
So this guy came into our booth and was talking to Steph, and he was professing to be a shaman of some sort, and I can't remember, but he was talking to Stephanie, and he kind of zoned in on her.
He zoned in for me from across the fucking room.
Yeah.
Like, not even in our booth, Jerry. Like, he zoned in on me from, like, the next aisle over of booths. And I was in the booth messing with stuff. And I looked up and he was, like, staring at me. Like, if looks could kill, right? And I'm like, this is weird. Well, then he, like, beelines it over to... Sorry. I'm going to let you tell this story.
Well, yeah, I mean, it happened to you.
Well,
so...
I know, but I like it when you tell the story better than me.
So... he's in our booth and he zones in on a necklace that she's wearing, and I can't remember the conversation around this necklace, but he said there's energy in that necklace that needs to come out.
Yeah.
And I'm doing a reading at the time, and I don't even know exactly what happened, but I just know that whatever, I actually had to recast the runes because for this reading, because whatever he did just absolutely wiped everything out. I couldn't get a connection with the and I was 15 minutes into this reading. I couldn't get a connection with the runes at that point. I couldn't get a connection with my guides at that point. Nothing. And so I leaned over and I said, "Hey, buddy, you're going to have to step out of the booth here." And they thought I was talking to both of them, and so Steph goes out to the.
I did.
aisle.
I thought he was talking to me too, and I was like, "Shit, okay."
It's like, okay, rude. I kind of work here.
I know, right?
Steph goes out there, and I wish I had been paying more attention to what was going on around me. I was just trying to focus and get my energy back, I was trying to get my mojo back on this reading, so I didn't end up having to give this poor woman's money back because she was actually in the middle of a really good reading, but so. Just about the time I'm finishing up this reading, I look up just in time to see this guy making some sort of a hand motion, and then it looked like, I swear, I thought Stephanie was going to pass out.
I shit you not, man.
And you'll have to take it over from there. Because
this guy, the moment Jeremiah is referring to when he was in the middle of the reading and it got disrupted was because this motherfucker came up to me and he was like, your necklace, it's got too much energy. You need to, can I get rid of a little bit of it? And I didn't know what the fuck was about to happen. Otherwise I would have said no. He leans in, grabs my necklace, and he blows on it. He does this like weird thing with his blows on it, and that after he did that, that's when it totally disrupted you because you had your back to us, so you didn't even know that anything had actually happened at that moment. And then when we stepped outside of the booth, he said you have some energy that he goes, hold on, I'm gonna fix this for you. He didn't even warn me what he was about to do. He didn't give me any heads up. I didn't know what the fuck he was about to do, and he literally put his hand.
Didn't even ask any kind of permission.
No,
nothing.
He put his finger. He put his finger by my here area, like right here.
Upper sternum.
Yeah, like on my sternum, and he goes, hold on a minute, and he takes his other hand and he like yanks something out of my chest, and I swear to God, it felt like he pulled something the size of a softball out of my chest, and I got lightheaded. I got dizzy. I was about to fucking fall over, and then I'm just like, what the hell, just and then quickly, I don't even remember, I was pretty out of it at that moment. I don't even know if Sylvia was the one that came over, or
I think so,
or David or whatever, but
one of the fair coordinators came over and kind of saved the day. And
oh yeah, she goes, "Do you want me to unfuck you?" And I was like, "Please." And so she like laid me out on one of the tables, and she had her pendulum, and she said, "You want to know what that asshole did? He completely ungrounded you, completely." And I was like, "Well, fix it, please, God, fix it." Yes, Sylvia saved the day. But yeah, that was very rude. People, don't ever go up to somebody and pull out a fucking energy plasma ball out of their chest. He got kicked out of the fair, by the way, because he was like disrupting every reader that he walked by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that kind of I know you talked about healing and energy work at the beginning, and that kind of thing is a very personal thing.
Oh yeah.
Right.
It's very violating to have something like that happen without any kind of permission or.
Well, and at that
Right.
point, Jeremiah and I hadn't really talked about shielding or
That was-
anything.
yeah, that was my bad.
It didn't. I mean, it wasn't. It was
a better way to learn, right?
Exactly.
You'll never forget again.
Yeah, let me tell you, after that motherfucker, I quickly, got a little more assertive when it comes to people coming in my booth.
Yes. That's like, it's rude. That's unethical for you to go in and read somebody without the permission. Sometimes you just have to it's like walking into somebody in the bathroom. I didn't need to see that, sorry.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Continue to do that kind of thing. You're doing it, and that's very unethical, and you give the rest of us a bad name.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So,
Oh yeah, for sure.
people like that, they attract, sadly, a lot of people trying to find their way, who are very insecure with themselves, and then they get.
Well, it's because there's a psychological factor in that.
The same.
Right.
And I get that. But when you are stealing energy, to me, he stole that energy.
Oh, he did. After that, like I had to take that necklace off. I could not bring myself to wear, because I had 2 necklaces on, and one of them I could not bring myself to. Like, he completely took everything, every ounce of energy that necklace represented to me. He took it without permission, and you don't do that, man. Like, that's just so
No, you don't do that.
that's a level of just being vile that
Yeah.
it was awful.
But the folks like that, they feed off of that kind of thing. It's kind of it's almost the principle of a type of, maybe like an energy vampire. They kind of feed off of that.
But they know they're doing it.
Exactly.
They know they're doing it.
Exactly. They feed off of that energy, but they also, you mentioned the fact that they folks like that tend to attract a lot of people that are very new on their path, or questioning, or searching, and that it's folks like that are in a very vulnerable position, especially when it comes to kind of being hooked up with a person that's going to take advantage of that, so that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Just because somebody says it with authority and doesn't mean that they really know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I say a lot of things when I'm talking. If my bosses are listening, close your ears. I say a lot of things in my because I have no idea what I'm talking about, but it sounds good. I say it, and it sounds like I know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
So, not that I'm lying, but this is what it looks like to me. So
Well, and the client most.
Like an authority, then.
Well, and most of the time the client isn't gonna, they're not gonna know whether you're, saying a bunch of bullshit or if you're, being legit.
Right.
Well, that's why
they have that
They,
trust. They have that,
and those are unfortunately the kind of people that take advantage of people like that.
Mm-hmm.
You have somebody who's in emotional distress, and they're looking for answers. Maybe they lost their husband or their child, or maybe they're grieving a loss of a pet, and you are using that to feed your pocketbook.
Right.
instead of feeding their souls.
Exactly. You know, and that's you know, I get a lot of I don't know, weird looks, funny looks, I guess, when I start talking about, you know, ethics and professionalism when it comes to energy workers, healers, readers, that type of thing, because largely because of people like that, you know, we have a bad name, and so people kind of give you a smirk when you start looking at. But that's exactly why it's so important to be talking about the ethics and the professionalism and the moral and moral standards and integrity that we need to have.
Well, the clients deserve that. You know, they're coming to you seeking answers, and what an asshole you would have to be to take advantage of that. Like, I just, you know, I don't know. It's messed up, man. Really messed up, actually.
It is. I mean, they're the car salesmen of the pieces of
Oh,
us.
yeah.
They give us a bad name. So
yes.
But I mean, once you start learning your way, you're like, oh, I didn't feel good around them. I'm not going to go back to them. They took me for, whether it was emotional or not, I mean, or monetary or not. They take things from you, whether it's your energy, your ideas, whatever. They are there to take something from you.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, Jeri, I hate to say it, but it's 8:22. It's time for us to start winding down.
We're gonna have to. Yes, man.
It is. We're gonna have you back on maybe some point in the future. We can do
come on for Darkness Tavern. Maybe you can come up and stay with us.
We can do a Skype thing, or you could come up from Darkness Tavern, and we could even, if they're up for it, get more of your team involved. And
oh, heck yeah,
we can do that. We can do that.
Carl, I did.
They're parlor tricks.
Yes. That would be fun.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. So we will go ahead.
So party tricks and parlor tricks.
Yes. Parlor tricks. I love it. I love it. Carl said, cool. You met a vampire, Stephanie. Fuck yeah, I met a vampire, and he had his motherfucking way. I just felt so, after, Jeri, one more thing before we go. After that whole ordeal happened, I felt so violated. Yeah. Like, I was very upset. Like, I felt so violent. I'm like, who the fuck are you? And who do you think you are to just come up and take something that's mine? You know, like, you don't do that to people. It's just rude.
Sylvia, and I don't know how serious she was about this. She might have just been saying it for my sake to make me feel better. But she said one of the reasons he got removed from the fair so fast is because
you would have realized
they didn't want me to get a hold of him. He's busy with readings right now. Let's get this guy out of here before we have a big blow up.
I imagine that would have been a trigger for you.
Yeah, it would have.
Actually,
it would have.
Yeah. So, anyways, well, my dear, thank you so much for chatting with us. And sorry I had to get up a little bit ago. I had to go make sure all the kids were in the house because I was texting my son and he didn't respond. And I'm like, better go check to make sure they're all in there, that we made it all home and everybody's safe.
Oh, it's all good.
So,
well, we will be in touch.
The animals. I mean, the kids are grown, so
yes,
that's it. The animals are rotten.
Right,
as they should be.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely,
right. We'll have to figure out something fun and exciting to do.
Oh my God, yes.
So, right quick before we go, tell everyone what the Facebook page for your team is. Is it just Valkyrie Paranormal or on Facebook?
Yes, it's Valkyrie Paranormal. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and the Twitter. I don't Twitter a whole lot. It's not really one of my favorite things, but I do send some feed stuff over there. Okay. We had a couple investigations coming up. I'm going to a secret surprise investigation this weekend. and we're doing a contest to see to win a ticket to haunt the halls of Kingfisher the 24th or the 31st.
Very cool.
And then in March, we have a really big thing I want you guys to come down for. We haven't announced it yet, but save March the 13th. And in April, we're going to be doing something big and amazing with 4 other teams in Texas.
Very cool. Very cool. That's you'll have to keep us posted on
keep
that.
us
That sounds
posted
amazing.
so we can request off from work.
I will.
Yes.
March the 13th, that's a Saturday. So
Okay.
the logistics, don't have a site just yet. There's a couple places I'm talking to, but it's going to be fun and amazing.
Yay.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, Jeri, you have a great night, and we'll get something worked out, and get you guys on here again soon.
Yeah, for sure. And I gotta say, Jeri, like when I met you, you and I just had an instant connection.
Yes, I was like, we should be friends.
I know. And here we are.
And here we are.
Oh my gosh, girl.
Not talk.
Yes. Well, my dear, you take care.
Kiss the baby.
I know. Oh, speaking of babies,
whichever the case may be.
when I went, just so you know, when I went in the house, my so Bella, one of the girls, she bought herself an Echo Dot. Is that what it's called? Echo Dot. Mm-hmm. And literally, Sophie now knows how to ask Echo Dot to play Baby Shark.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. You can tell Echo Dot never play Baby Shark again.
Seriously. And the other 2 kids kept trying to have it play something, and so we'd be like, Echo Dot, play Baby Shark. Playing Baby Shark.
Boy.
That's why we had 2020 and opened the portal. Okay?
Oh my God.
Right.
It's Jaws' worst nightmare. Okay. All right, dear. We're going to hang up with you. You take care and we'll be in touch.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
That was awesome.
Yeah. She's amazing. She's so cool.
That was totally awesome.
I genuinely love everybody that we've had on our podcast.
Yep.
I do. I sincerely mean that. Oh, by the way, Ann Logan is on next Monday, and then Brandon Callahan is on the Monday after that.
And we go down the rabbit hole.
Take the
Conspiracy
red pill.
theories
Take the red pill, Neo. Or Jeremiah.
That's going to be an interesting show.
I know.
So yeah. Well, and
he's the one guest that I shut up for.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to say I didn't drink very much tonight.
No, you sure didn't.
You weren't hopping around.
I'm on the straight and narrow right now. Let me tell you. Mm-hmm. I'm super. I'm hyper focused. I'm pretty excited for tomorrow. So, pretty hyper focused about getting through the day. Yeah.
Tomorrow's going to be a good day.
Yes.
So we will get the page information for Jeri's team's Facebook page.
Damn, I meant to ask her how she came up with the name. Did she talk about it when I was gone?
No, we'll bring that up next time we talk to her though.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll get that posted to the video, and we will. We definitely have to get her. That would be awesome to have if we could get hell, I don't know. It might be a stretch. Not a lot of room in here, but if we could get her whole team up here for Darkness Tavern, that would be cool.
Hell yeah, it would be.
We're gonna have to work on that.
Hell yeah,
maybe we can find a place to investigate on Friday night and do Darkness Tavern on Saturday night.
Hell yeah, Jeri, I hope you're down for that because that sounds like a ton of fun, and she can bring her Boo Bear.
Yeah,
she can bring her Boo Bear. I mean it. I want to get Sophie one for Christmas this year. Are they expensive?
Yeah, they're pretty pricey.
She's worth it though, honey.
They're pretty
She's
pricey.
worth it.
Well, I know.
That'd be dual purpose. We could use it, and then she can play with it, and then the little girl and the little boy and the old man in our house can interact.
So yes. She said she'll tell us about the name next time.
I know. I can't even believe I failed to ask
I didn't even.
about it.
Yeah, Well,
it's such a cool name though, Jeri.
Yeah,
I love
it is. So,
Do you have any other announcements?
Yes, mark your calendars. Oh, just reminders. Mark your calendars because Saturday we have Darkness Tavern coming up with Ben and Claire and a third special guest, and it's going to be a blast. And then it always is. That'll be at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on Saturday the 17th.
Oh, that's a sad day. Oh, that's a bummer.
Well, we'll have something
That's
to cheer
a
you up.
bummer day, man. I know. It'll be fine.
So
yeah, we'll have that cheer you up on that day, and then Ann Logan on Monday. All of these announcements will go out tomorrow, and then looking forward to Brandon. So yes, in the meantime, like and share and. We're getting close. We're gonna be at our next stepping stone for a giveaway of some sort. Mm-hmm. We're only about 100 likes away. So once we went,
we should go to. Carl said we should come out to Dodge one of these days.
Yeah, that would be cool.
We should plan for that, man. I've never been to Dodge. Wait, we went through it, right?
Yeah.
We went through Dodge in the blustery.
yeah, that
snowy day.
Yeah, it was windy and snowy. It was when we were leaving for our honeymoon.
Yeah.
So that's 2 years ago, day after tomorrow.
Yeah. That was so fucking cool.
Yes. We need to set that up, Carl.
Let's talk about that. But we will get. What was I saying?
You said you had an announcement.
I've
You
got
were talking about
I've got a drink because you got me off subject.
before we started. You said you had an announcement.
Just reminders. So it's going to be time to start looking at another giveaway or contest of some sort because
Yes.
we're getting once we hit 979 likes, that's Stephanie's magic number.
Apparently, it is.
979 likes. We're going to have another surprise of some sort coming up for you guys. So
Yes, like, share, help us get to that number,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll get Jeri's Facebook page posted on this video description. And I'm just babbling, so
We're gonna sign off. So you guys have a great night, and we will.
join us again next week as we keep shaking hands with the shadows.
Yes, I love that. Thank you, Ben. I don't know if Ben's watching, but thanks to
He
Ben.
was.
He was. All right, bye, guys.
All right, have a good night, great week. Talk to you Saturday.
Yes, Saturday. Bye.